I'm going to show you how to use Mozilla Spoke, which is the editor for Mozilla Hubs, to create 3D scenes that incorporate photogrammetry, either photogrammetry models that you have created yourself and uploaded to Sketchfab, or freely available photogrammetry models in Sketchfab that are downloadable. So we'll start off by going to a Mozilla Spoke. You get there by going to hubs.mozilla.com/spoke and click Get Started. And you have to be logged in. If you click Login, you then, it sends you an email. You click on the link in the email, and then it will authenticate you. So here I'm in the setup page for Spoke. I'm going to click New Project, choose a new empty project. Here I am in the start screen. I'll just keep the kind of lunar or Arizona skyline that they have here, or the mountains. It's like I'm in Death Valley or something. And we have our spawn point right there. That's kind of our first-person controller. And then we're going to go over here to Elements and choose Model. So if you do this, then you'll see that you have a model there, and then there are properties here. And then they have a link here that says Model URL, and it starts with Sketchfab. How interesting. All right, so the way that you get things in from Sketchfab is we'll go to Sketchfab. You want to be in, if you're looking for your own stuff, you go to your account and then find your models. And so here are some models in my account. And here we have, well, a couple of things. There's a few things. We have Pumpkin Thriller Man, Gandalf, and a sock puppet. So let's bring the sock puppet into our page. So I'll click on it. And this is the key, is you want to make sure that your 3D model, which you could have done anything with it. You could put annotations on it. It's not going to matter. You want to make sure down here that it says Download 3D Model. If you don't see that, then Mozilla Hubs can't see it either. So if you don't see the downloadable option, what you need to do is go up here to Edit Properties, and then scroll down a little bit till you see Download. And you can see here, I've set it up to be free. It has to be set to free, not to no download, and also not to store. So you may have noticed that it's possible to sell 3D models on Sketchfab. If you choose store, then you can sell your models that way. But something like Mozilla Hubs won't be able to get it. It can only work with the free open source stuff. So I have free, and it has to be this the basic Creative Commons license. So I do have my model set up as free. So I'll go back, and then you just take the base URL for that model right up here, and I copy that. I come over here. I go to the model URL field and I paste and enter. Then you can see that it's sort of doing this little animation, but I don't see anything yet. This can be a little confusing at first because you may wonder, well, why am I not seeing something? That's because you need to come over here to the properties and increase the scale. The scale is automatically really small. So if I increase the scale to say 10, now you start to see it. I'm going to make it 20. All right, so now my model's in there. You'll notice that it's the orientation is wrong. So at the upper left, you have the ability to move things. So if I click here, I'm on the Move tool. I'm moving it in different places. I'm gonna make sure it's not underground. And then here's Rotate. It can be a little persnickety sometimes. Remember, this is free open source code. Oh. Get to kind of play around with these 3 different rotate options. Almost there. There we go. Okay. And then you may have noticed if you're moving those, that, oh, over here, I also have some options for rotating. So you can also just click here. This is a little bit easier. So I'm clicking on the Y for rotate, and then the Z. And it's changing those numbers. So that's actually a little bit easier way to do it. But you have to click on the letter, not on the number. And now I have my my model in there. All right, and it's good. In case you're wondering, how do you create, say, a room or something? Well, they have a lot of little, like, fun little things over on the side here. But if you also look, let's see here, to in Elements. Oh, they take it back. They're over in the let's see here, Architecture Kit. So Architecture Kit, you can put flooring. So here I'm going to choose, sure, a 4x4 base. Let's put a floor underneath my sock puppet. Oh, it just sort of paints, so you have to make sure you don't overdo it. And then I can select that floor. And then over this way, if I scale it up to, say, 30, all right, you can see it kind of has a base to it. And now I'm going to actually delete the background. You can tweak this. So if you scroll down, I've selected the floor here. Now I'm going to choose, let's see here, granite tile. Okay, so now the sock puppet's on granite tile. You can see it's kind of big because I scaled it way up. Then you can change some of the other settings on it. So the bottom material, not quite sure what that changes, but you can sort of like tweak these a little bit. There's smooth concrete, plaster. Remember, this is all building material, so kind of makes sense it would be. Okay, stone blocks. There we go. So now it's on some stone blocks, and then I'm going to go ahead and increase scale a little bit, make my puppet kind of fit everything else. All right. And so I have a floor. I could add walls. I could add all kinds of other stuff. And then to use it, I click Publish to Hubs, and it's going to upload everything. And so this will be Puppet Room. Give it whatever name you want. Saving the project. Save and publish. You can allow other people to use what you create, by the way. Just make sure that you have the rights to everything in there, that you're allowed to then extend those to others. So it's going to upload everything into Mozilla Hubs. And what happens after this is that basically that entire scene will be available for me. I'm not going to click View My Scene now, because what I find easier to do is you actually go right back to Mozilla Hubs and then create a room. It'll start with the default room, and then choose the room that you started as a scene. So I click Choose Scene, and then go to My Scenes right here. There's my puppet room. And then now I can enter the room, enter on screen, go through these prompts. And what do you know? I'm in the room I just created. So that's kind of a fun and interesting way to use photogrammetry that you've created especially, but it could also be stuff that you find the rights to or that's open source. And then you could engage an audience by clicking share. You could then post this actually publicly if you wanted to. And then anyone with Mozilla Hubs or who wants to try it out, because they don't have to download anything, they can just come and check it out, and they'll find that they have avatars. And then suddenly you're talking with people, communicating. And it's really like a whole new way of engaging an audience around 3D information, right? So I see this, even though it's kind of a virtual reality chat room, it's also a storytelling tool. It's just a very different type that we've ever seen before. So I hope you have fun turning your 3D models into hubs and engaging people, and see what you can do with that.